What is up, guys? Welcome back to AKFPL. This is the Game Week 24 preview. We're now in the business part of the season. We've got double game weeks coming up. People are thinking about playing their wildcards and their bench boosts. So all of that's going to start coming into play. So it's actually a really exciting time to playing FPL at the moment. I'm just going to show you my Game Week 23 score. I got 72 points. I made one free transfer, which was Rob Holding to Ben Mee. And that was partly in preparation for Burnley's double game week in 24, but also because Burnley had a decent home fixture against Brighton. So I was really hoping that Ben Mee could at least get a clean sheet in that game. It actually didn't work out that well. I got 1 point for Ben Mee. The other transfer I was considering was bringing in Antonio Rudiger for Chelsea's fixture against Sheffield. But Chelsea didn't keep a clean sheet. Rudiger scored an own goal. So if anything, it worked out better in that sense. I kept the armband on Fernandes, but I spent a lot of time trying to decide between captaining either Fernandes or Son. In the end, it was only a 3-point difference, so I'm not too bothered about that. Everyone else chipped in with their points. Salah got 7. Gundogan got a brace. He missed a penalty, but still scored 2 goals with max bonus, so that was really good performance by him. Martinez with another stellar performance, getting a clean sheet and max bonus with a 9-pointer. That was really good. So 72 points was enough to give me a really small green arrow from 19k to 17k. So it wasn't a massive rank rise, but I felt a bit fortunate because there were some massive scores around me. And I think the players that really hit my rank were people who had Justin and Dallas. They got between 9 to 12 points each. So I do regret selling Dallas actually, because I kind of want him back in. I sort of want him back in now for Elite's double game week fixture in 25. So probably not the best transfer I've made, but we can only do what we can in these sort of weeks. So 72 points is just about enough to maintain rank, but I really want to start pushing on. I was about 12 to 13k a few weeks ago, so I really want to get back up there, trying to break into the top 10k. So let's look at game week 24. So it's double game week time, so it's a good time to start aiming for some big scores to try and get us up the ranks. I've got 2 free transfers, so this is what I'm thinking of doing at the moment. I've got 2 approaches which I might go. So one of my free transfers, I'm almost certainly going to be bringing in Richarlison for Davis, who's not really playing. So that's just one free transfer that I can do. Originally, that was going to be Calvert-Lewin, but Calvert-Lewin got injured in the FA Cup. So I think Richarlison's a good little differential to bring in, knowing that he's probably going to be playing up front by himself. And the other free transfer I'm considering to make is bringing in Nick Pope for my non-playing goalkeeper. So I can do both those transfers for free, and it's not gonna, I don't have to shuffle my team around too much because I'm replacing 2 players who don't really play any minutes anyway, and they're both double game week players as well. So if I did that, I'd be going into the game week with 7 double game week players, and then I'm even considering playing my bench boost this week because I've got Son on my bench, I've got Bamford on my bench, and I'll probably have someone like Soufal on my bench as well, and Martinez in my bench. So I've got 4 players who I normally play every week pretty much, who've all got reasonable fixtures except maybe Son, he's Man City away. But the rest of them actually have pretty good fixtures, so it's actually a really good time to be playing the bench boost. So the positives of that is it's probably going to be the best bench I'll have all season, so it makes sense to play your bench boost at a time like that. But by doing that, by bringing in Pope and then bringing in Richarlison, I'm sort of committing to playing my wildcard in Game Week 25 because I want to be getting in play like Kane into my team. And if I didn't wildcard, I'd have to take a few hits to do that because I've now spread my money quite thinly across my squad. So you are sort of committing to the wild card if you spread your money all around the squad like I have by doing these 2 free transfers. So the other thing is there's a question mark over injuries following the FA Cup game. So Dean's injured and possibly Antonio might be injured as well. So the other negative is obviously you want to be playing your bench boost when you've got 15 fit players. You're going to be making the maximum points out of your bench boost by doing that. But if you've got a few flags like I have, then you are a bit more reluctant to be playing the bench boost. So in light of the injuries, and if I hear from any of the press conferences that, Dean's going to miss out or even Antonio's not going to be ready, I just don't think it's going to be worth bench boosting. So in that case, what I'll do is I think I'll just play one free transfer and then get in Richarlison for Davis and then roll the other free transfer to game week 25. So I'd be going into game week 24 with 6 double game week players and I won't be playing my bench boost. So that's the other approach that I could take. But then it means in game week 25, I've then got 2 free transfers to get in Harry Kane, who I want to do. Where is he? Harry Kane. And then my other transfer would be to get Dean out and I'd get Dallas in for his double game week. And I could do that in 2 free transfers. So that's a pretty good move. So this approach lets me be a bit more flexible with when I use my wildcard. I won't feel so committed to playing it in Game Week 25. And I've got a pretty good Game Week 25 team as well. The only negative I'd say is I might not get a better chance to use my bench boost by going down this route. And I'd probably only have 2 Leeds double game week players. Ideally, I'd want 3. I'd want Rafinha in either for Grealish or maybe even Salah. So if I wanted to do that, it would have to be an extra hit. So I basically need to decide, when do I want a wildcard? Do I want to do it in 25 or do I want to save it? But just looking at my squad, it's not really one where I look at it and I go, I really need to wildcard this team. I mean, my core is really good. My 5 midfielders, I've had these 5 for quite a few weeks now and they're all getting in with the points pretty much every week. And my 2 strikers, Antonio is probably someone I'd want to replace because his run of fixtures starts to take a turn for the worse after this week. But my defense, I'm still probably going to keep double Man City defense. So the only players I'd really be moving around are my fringe players. So they're like my bench players and maybe a few of my defenders as well. So I can do that anyway with maybe 4 free transfers. So the question I'm asking myself is, do I really need to wildcard at the moment? So I'm just not sure if it's worth it, if it means only making 4 to 5 changes. And that too, I'm only changing my fringe players. If my core team is still pretty good, then what's the point? I might as well just save it. And maybe I can use my wildcard a bit later on, towards Game Week 29 when there's going to be a big blank. And then maybe I can use it, near Game Week 29 where it can help me out. So I need to figure out what I'm going to do with the wildcard. And also the other thing I need to figure out is when I want to bench boost. So it's either going to be this week or it's probably going to be in double Game Week 26. So double Game Week 26 is the other game week where there's probably going to be a lot of doubles because of the FA Cup results. So teams that have gone through in the FA Cup are probably going to blank in game week 29 and that rescheduled fixture will probably drop into game week 26. That's what we're hearing at the moment. Still waiting on official confirmation for all of that, but it does help you plan your wildcard accordingly. So a lot of these drafts and decisions are based on basically what happens in the FA Cup and which fixtures get rescheduled into what weeks. And I think only then will I be able to decide when I'm going to be playing my wildcard and when I'm going to be playing my bench boost as well. So we'll know pretty much all of that by the end of Thursday evening. So the only games left to play today are Chelsea and Barnsley. So expecting Chelsea to go through. And the other game is Southampton and Wolves. So we don't know who's going to win out of those because whoever wins in that was going to blank in game week 29. So that's what we're waiting for at the moment. But if we go back to game week 24 and if we look at team selection, so this is currently the team I've got without any transfers being made. Obviously, I'm waiting for all the press conference information on that. In terms of the captaincy, if we look at who are the key captains for this week, I think I'm going to go with Gundogan because I think he's going to play twice and there's a question mark as to whether he's still on penalties or not. So we saw in the last game he actually missed it. And it wasn't even like a good save. He just missed the goal completely. So Pep Guardiola after that game said he's not really sure who's going to take the penalties anymore because they haven't really got a set and forget penalty taker, aside from maybe De Bruyne, but he's out at the moment. So penalties might shift around the team. Maybe it goes to Sterling, who knows, or maybe even Gundogan keeps them. But aside from penalties, Gundogan's getting into the box a lot, getting to the ends of crosses, just getting into really good positions to score goals. So he's going to be my double game week captain. There are other players as well. So if you've got the likes of Sterling, if you're fortunate enough to have Sterling in your team, I can't purely because of my setup. I think he's a really good option as well. He probably will play both games, given the fact that De Bruyne still probably might not be fit. They need that extra spark in the final third, so I think Sterling will play, and he's actually putting up really good numbers over the last few weeks. So if I had Sterling and Gundogan, I probably would go Sterling in that case. But if you've got Sterling, definitely he'd be one to consider captaining. Other players who have good fixtures are Fernandes. Now, he has just got a single game week, but he's playing West Brom away. So West Brom have just been absolutely diabolical, even though Sam Allardyce took over. They are just a team waiting to be bulldozed whenever a big team comes and plays against them. I can see United scoring at least 3 goals against them. And if that happens, Fernandes is going to be a part of that. So I think for those who don't have, a Man City midfielder, I think Fernandes is a good shout. And if we're really scraping the barrel, other players like Rashford potentially. A few people have proposed captaining Nick Pope in this game week because Burnley have 2 pretty good fixtures against Palace and Fulham, who aren't really scoring many goals at the moment. So you'd be hoping for 2 Burnley clean sheets there. The only thing I'd say against that is not only have Burnley not been keeping clean sheets lately, but the thing about clean sheets is once it's gone, it's gone. If you have an attacking player who's blanking up to the 85th, 90th minute, there's still always a small chance he could just get a goal or an assist right at the end, and you end up with points. But with the clean sheet, once it's gone, there's no way of redeeming those points. So I just wouldn't captain a goalkeeper purely from that reason, even though I can see the logic. The chance of Burnley getting clean sheets, at least 1 clean sheet in these 2 games, is pretty high. But it's just, for me, it's just not an exciting pick, and I think it's actually a bit risky as well. Because, for example, if Burnley don't keep a clean sheet in the first game, you're then, drastically hoping they're going to keep a clean sheet in the second game, which they might not either. So Nick Pope as captain, I think it's not for all of us. If you think it's a good idea, go for it. He is, one of the top scoring keepers in the last few seasons of FPL, so I won't put it past him to get, a fairly good score this week. But I just want to stress that, it's just risky captaining a defender or a goalkeeper any time because you really are clinging on to those clean sheet points. So I'm going to go with Gundogan, and I'll probably just leave the video there. So let's see how the fixtures look after the FA Cup. My plans are very uncertain in terms of wildcarding and bench boosting, so I'm going to wait for those FA Cup fixtures to finish and then see what knock-on effect that has on the league to find out who's doubling in 26, who's blanking in 29, and then I can make a decision whether to wildcard first or bench boost first and then wildcard later. So in terms of plans for Game Week 2024, it's almost certainly going to be captaining Gundogan, and I'm definitely bringing in Richarlison in for Davis, and then I'll make a decision as to whether to bring Pope in or save my free transfer until the next week. So I will leave it there. Thanks for watching. Let me know what you guys are doing with your teams. If you need any questions answering, just put it down in the comments. If you're new, just like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. It really helps me to grow the content here as well. And I'll see you all at the next game week.